Welcome once again to Inside Earlham College Athletics with Sports Information Director Mitch Blankespoor. We'll talk with Mitch about what happened last week, highlight some of the big points of the previous week, and then, of course, we'll talk about what's coming up this week. That is next right here on Inside Earlham College Athletics.
The Drewry Performance Gymnasium, dedicated on February 6 of 2016, is home to Schuckman Court and the Earlham men's basketball, women's basketball, and volleyball teams. Built to seat 1,800 fans, the facility features a full-length basketball court with locker rooms for home and visiting teams. Schuckman Court is painted with volleyball lines and can also support 2 basketball courts for intramural play. An observation room above allows for video streaming and media members to view the game from above. 2 storage areas are located in either corner of the facility, with a concession stand located just outside the main entrance.
And we're back once again on Inside Earlham College Athletics. And Mitch, last week, certainly some highlights to talk about. I'll let you go over those because there were some nice things that happened last week with the athletics program.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Troy, and thanks again for having me. We'll start with cross country. They hosted the 30th consecutive invitational on campus, but it was the Earlham Invitational, and now it's named the Pat Thomas Invitational after longtime cross country coach Pat Thomas, who ran the Invitational for 29 years.
Okay.
So the Pat Thomas Invitational, IU East, Manchester, IU Northwest, and Wabash came. And the men's side, Gabriel Pank won the meet, the senior out of Portland, Oregon. So a nice for Gabe there. And I think the women finished third or second. We'll go with second.
Yeah, there you go.
So that was a big highlight for events on campus this weekend. And then football, you had that game, was pretty competitive. Got off a pretty good start, actually. A pick 6 on the second play of the game there from James Johnson. That was a pretty good play for the Quakers. Wes Hundley came in after Traylon Anderson did not have his best game through 6 interceptions, but Wes came in and he already had 10 receptions for 130 yards and ended up leading the team in rushing and also threw for 87 yards and a touchdown. So a very all-around performance there for Wes.
You bet.
The soccer programs is probably the highlight of the weekend for the Quakers. The women's team came in, did not win a game in the non-conference, and then shut out Bluffton on the road 3-0. Bluffton also didn't have a win, so maybe not the greatest opponent in terms of strength, but still a huge win for Earlham going forward. Shara Barclay, the senior, had 1 goal and assisted on the other 2, so a huge win there for the women's soccer program, and they're going forward. They're playing at Rose-Hulman tonight. We're filming this on Wednesday, and then they'll have Mount St. Joseph, who's actually off a pretty good start for the Lions, at Matlack Field over that way. We'll have that game. You'll have that game on Radio Troy Digital Sports on Saturday. And the men's soccer team defeated Bluffton 3-2. They got up 2-0 in the first half and gave up 1 goal and then pushed to 3-1. That was enough to secure the victory for Coach Bird's squad, and they're hosting Rose-Hulman, the defending HCAC regular season and conference tournament champions, here at Matlack Field, the team that defeated Earlham 4-0 here last year, so looking for some revenge there. So those were kind of the highlights of the weekend.
All right, coming up, of course, you mentioned some of them already, but do you look ahead toward the weekend, maybe something that might be coming up in the near future?
Yeah, definitely. So we're trying to coin the Saturday as MSJ Day. You know, Mount St. Joseph. We play Mount St. Joseph in volleyball here at Schuckman Court at 1 o'clock. We play them in women's soccer at 1 o'clock, men's soccer at 3:30. So a really busy day on campus for Earlham Athletics on Saturday. The women's tennis team will also play Rose-Hulman. They'll close out their HCAC regular season on Wednesday. Rose-Hulman team has made the NCAA tournament, or the HCAC tournament, on a couple of occasions. On the women's side, the women's tennis team will end their season then on Wednesday, a week from today, against Thomas More in a non-conference contest. So that'll be it for the games on campus. And football is traveling to Franklin College, the perennial powerhouse in the HCAC. They've won the conference for 6 or 7 straight years and have made noise in the NCAA tournament. I think they got to the final 8 one year, so it should be a very tough game for Earlham on the road.
Hey, by the way, I want to mention congratulations to the men's and women's golf teams. I had a chance. You were out there at Forest Hills this past weekend, and it was fun talking to a couple of the athletes there too, and I thought they did very well.
Yeah, definitely great to mention that. The first ever Earlham Fall Invitational was held at Forest Hills Country Club. It was just a 1-day tournament on Sunday, October 2. Thanks to you for coming out to interviewing first Hannah Torsdahl, the freshman from West Des Moines, Iowa, finished 4th individually the round of 88. And then on the men's side, pretty cool for the Quakers. They shot 320 as a team, which is, talking to Coach Gehring, their best round as a team. Should happen on your home course, but Forest Hills is not an easy course.
Yeah.
And Graham Sherrard, the freshman from Missouri, actually earned the medalist honors, which is the low score for the tournament, with a 73.
Yeah.
So pretty nice there for Earlham. And the women's team will go to the HCAC Championships hosted by Rose-Hulman this weekend. It's a 2-day tournament on, I believe, Saturday and Sunday. And then the men's team ended their non-traditional fall season with that Earlham Fall Invitational. So pretty cool for the golf program.
Should mention too, talking certainly about the facilities here, and they get a chance to work on the simulator. I know they're very excited about that too. The indoor is just got to be just fantastic for this program.
Yeah, it's definitely huge. I know Coach Gehring has said that's one of the big recruiting tools, to have an indoor putting facility and a machine that will track your swing and some courses to play on. Which is huge for the program. We're going to be doing a video displaying that facility probably in October, so it'll be on the athletic website. But I know it's a huge thing, especially for the golfers that are coming from, Earlham attracts students from all over the place, and when you get students that come from California, Texas, Florida, they don't like snow too much. They want to practice, and this facility, which is located in Trueblood Fieldhouse, allows for the teams to keep sharp on their game and practice when the Midwest weather is, you and I Midwesterners know it, that it can get pretty ugly. So
it certainly can.
Yeah.
I want to remind everyone, certainly keep up on all the Earlham athletics and activities and photos and stories and everything on GoEarlham.com. Mitch works very hard and sometimes very late into the night getting all of that put together. So good job on that.
Yep, thanks, sir. And again, we promote Radio Troy Digital Sports on our website, on a couple different places. So be sure to tune in the broadcast with the video link. And I guess that's one thing to pop, not this weekend, but next weekend is probably the busiest weekend. You talk about me working long hours, the busiest weekend of the year for our department. We have a slate of events, along with Homecoming and Hall of Fame, is next Saturday. So we've got field hockey on Friday and Saturday. We've got the Homecoming ceremonies will be all weekend. We have the Hall of Fame induction here at Schuckman Court on Friday night. We'll be introducing 2 teams and 4 individuals, including Pat Thomas, the longtime cross-country coach, will be inducting the Hall of Fame. Look for a story on that on GoEarlham.com early next week. And then football will be home, and it's just going to be a great event. Tons of events to come out and support Quaker athletics.
All right, it will be a busy weekend for sure, and congratulations to Pat as well.
Yep.
So it certainly deserves it.
Yep.
All right, we'll talk to you again next week as we continue keeping you updated on Earlham athletics right here on Inside Earlham Athletics on Radio Troy Digital Sports.